Love, you are speaking to the impact of cortisol in the body because also the
Mm,
part of work we do is helping people in managing stress, burnout, and things like anger,
mm,
managing people's emotion. And these things
mm,
all connect together. So I love that
mm,
science, pro science into it because we tell our
mm,
clients that definitely stress is not good for you. It had health impact
mm,
and also
mm,
cortisol. I mean, you explain the science of it. When you are angry, stressed, it releases cortisol. And we know that we also have other hormones like dopamine that can be released, which is good for the
yeah,
body. But something like cortisol
yeah,
is not good for the body, and it's
mm,
released at time that somebody is under stress, somebody is angry, and it
agree,
stays from what we know, it stays longer in the body than even the
definitely.
good ones like the dopamine, right?
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
as you are building that bridge between what we do and also the science, yes, please give us the science aspect of that because we
yeah,
say it has health impact, and you have explained part of
yeah.
that health impact. It locks up, it locks the gate, stopping the other
It locks the
yeah
gate.
organs or the
Yeah,
organs in the
stopping
body from
insulin. Yeah,
doing what they're supposed to do, right? So
yeah,
yeah, if you're hot-tempered or find yourself getting angry often or stressed, you need to look into that. Also, when you were talking about
yeah,
stress, one of the things I noticed that people have lived a stressful life for a long time. They have
mm,
normalized it. They have normalized stress. That means they run that way, not knowing that they are stressed. A lot
mm,
of people are stressed
yeah,
unknowingly, unconsciously, which is
yeah,
again
yeah,
even a bigger risk because when you are aware, you are conscious of that, then you can seek some help or intervention. But then when you normalize a lifestyle that way, it becomes even more challenging because you're not looking for help. You believe you're okay, and while you are
yeah,
not. Yeah, so I think that those are
yeah,
some of the things anyone listening to this should maybe look at for to see, ask yourself, really, am I stressed? Are there ways to recognize? Actually,
yeah.
there are some of the things I've shared or some of the things I share that can give somebody an indication whether they are stressed or not. There are some things you need to do to check in case if you're not sure.
Yeah.
Did you want to add anything
I
to
think,
that?
Owen, when it comes to stress, Owen, there are times that other people who work with such individuals try to normalize it for them
Okay.
and make excuses for them.
Right.
And one that does not help that individual
Mhm.
because once you normalize somebody's stress level, somebody's anger,
Yeah.
that individual then does not address it.
Yeah.
The danger is that any other person who then comes into that environment who says, I am not going to tolerate this behavior, then becomes a problem
All right.
because that individual is not putting up with that. In
Mhm.
the long run, it does not serve that individual who is angry, who has fist of bouts and all of that. It does not serve that individual in the long term. It doesn't actually help them.
Mhm.
But then it also creates a hostile environment where other people cannot thrive
Yeah.
because then we all have to normalize it.
Yeah.
And I worked in an environment like that where people have been so stressed. And I
Mhm.
have to say, please speak out. Don't make it about the individual, but
No.
make it about you and how you feel about that encounter
Yeah.
and address it. We need to help people and be honest with people and speak about this in with love so that
Yeah.
the individual would acknowledge that we are not belittling them, but we have seen red flags that we want to help them address it.
Yeah. Awesome. And yeah, I think our workplaces are some of the things we look into also. We have people in creating workplaces that people can thrive in, as opposed to toxic workplaces, psychologically unsafe workplaces. All those things are issues that people face today. And but I point at individuals because a lot of times individuals point at the system or at the
Mm,
department or organizations. But if you are
mm-mm,
self-aware, you know these things yourself. You should be able to tell an environment that is suitable for you or not. So that
yeah,
if you
yeah,
find yourself in the wrong place, then you can do something about it. Speak up. And if that
definitely.
environment doesn't encourage that, if you have invested in yourself enough, you go to another place. I shouldn't be in a position where you are forced to stay in a place that is not healthy for you. And that means for
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
it's a way of saying, I've not invested enough in myself to make that choice of this is where I want to be,
Yeah.
and recognizing that that's where you want to be. So again, as much as I can hear people pointing out the organization, the companies, the institution systems, I also hold
Leadership.
individuals responsible, because if you don't know what you want, then you find yourself, fitting into a place where you're not supposed to be.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Rosalind, earlier on you mentioned diabetes and high pressure as risk factors. Lately, you spoke more on diabetes. Would you want to add more on how people that are already diagnosed of these health conditions protect? How could they protect their kidneys? Is there anything they could do extra, maybe to help them protect their kidneys, knowing that these are risk factors?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Most importantly, let's start with diabetes. One, most people with diabetes may have either medications or no medications. For those who do not have any medications, it means they are managing that very well with their diet.
Wow.
They are managing that very well with exercise. They are managing that very well with their emotional well being.
Yeah.
The thing, Owen, is that what I tell my mind I cannot do,
Yeah.
nobody can force me to do it.
Say
What I tell
that
my
again.
mind I cannot do,
Yes.
nobody can force me, no force can
Yeah.
force me to do that.
Yes.
First, I have to acknowledge and believe that I can do it.
Yeah.
I remember somebody saying to me, Rosalind, have you heard? You have to be the change that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said, oh, yes, I know who said that. Gandhi said that,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to take you back. For you to see that change, you have to actually visualize it right there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see the change invisibly in your subconscious that you can do it
Yeah.
before it can manifest.
All right.
So, most health interventions, even for supporting people with diabetes and hypertension, most of them would have some form of psychological therapy to actually
Okay.
help them.
All right.
So, it starts with goal setting.
Mm-hmm.
Am I part of this goal setting? Have I set this realistic goal that I know I can achieve?
Mm-hmm.
So, setting small realistic goals. If it is about weight, how much weight have I set that I want to lose? One key thing I would like to talk about when it comes to weight loss, because people are skeptical about weight loss,
Yeah.
is the way our muscles use glucose.
Mm-hmm.
So I mentioned the gait.
Yeah.
Owen, every time I start walking, so under normal circumstance,
Yeah.
when there is sugar in the blood, then the signals are sent to the pancreas.
Yeah.
Okay, there is glucose in the blood. We need to move this glucose away.
Okay.
So then the gates for the muscles to use the glucose are opened.
Okay.
Insulin then carries this glucose to the muscles and the tissues for them to use. That is naturally what happens.
Yeah.
Let's say I have decided to exercise, so now I am using my muscles.
Yeah.
The body starts thinking, okay, hang on. The capacity or the demand for glucose has now gone higher.
Okay.
So, but then there is the normal glucose in the blood. So what do I do? Oh, wait, I know where excess glucose is stored. So I'm going to use that one. This is how weight loss happens.
Okay.
So then the body would convert the glucose that has been stored for energy now because
Yeah.
I am now walking, I
Yeah.
am exercising.
All
That
right.
is how weight loss occurs.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm talking to my patients about losing weight, that's the analogy I use.
Okay.
Because when I just say lose weight, it may not make sense.
All
But when
right.
I say the reason why exercise leads to weight loss is because the body at that time is not using the glucose. No, no, the body is thinking, hang on, demand has strict supply. But I remember that you have stored excess. So I'm going to now take the stored excess and then convert them into glucose and use them now.
All right.
So I encourage people, even if it is just walking, walk.
All right.
If it is skipping, skip.
Yeah.
Don't worry so much about fast paced walking if you cannot walk.
Okay.
Regardless of what you do, every step counts.
Okay.
Just keep moving. And once people get to understand that, and think, okay, Rosalind, so actually, whilst I am walking, glucose is being used. So
Mhm.
in the end, my blood sugar actually falls lower when I am exercising. That
Mm.
is the key thing for people to understand. So keep on walking,
Okay.
keep on walking. And as you're exercising, please don't forget to hydrate the body.
Okay. All right.
What is in the muscle is not just the glucose that is going in there. The bulk of our muscles contains water.
Yeah.
As we are exercising them, especially when we are in a hot climate, we are sweating and
Okay.
losing fluid. We need to put those fluid back.
Yeah.
So exercise plays a key role. I've already mentioned about medications, and
Yeah.
I've said that we have older medications like metformin has been there for years,
Yeah.
and most people will be started on metformin.
Yeah.
Insulin has been there for years, and most people will be started on insulin if they need it. But there are newer medications.
Okay.
However, your GP would not know if something is not working for you. So we need to speak up.
All right.
We need to speak up. Whilst I am setting my own personal goals and monitoring my own blood sugar, I would also communicate with my healthcare professional if that is not working for me. Sometimes people with diabetes worry about social life.
Okay.
Oh, Rosalind, I have this party coming up. So you go for the party. Listen, get your plate. Don't stay with one group.
Yeah.
Move around. It's the same plate. We need to be creative. It's the same plate. Just move around, socialize with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody will see that you have the same plate, but they don't know it's the same plate.
All right.
So it is how we are creative about what we don't want to do is to say, because of your diabetes, you can't have a social life. No, you can't.
Yeah.
But we
Okay.
need to be creative about it.
Absolutely.
It's the same with high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You go out, watch the foods you are eating. If these foods are too oily, just be very picky about them.
Okay.
If it is just one you are going to have that one, but look for those ones which are not ultra processed foods.
Okay.
Biscuit, cakes, Owen, they are the bad things for us because they are ultra processed.
Okay.
The sugar content in them is higher than sugar cane. That is just the challenge of it. One thing,
Wow.
oh, and this is me on Monday doing a little bit of reading,
Yeah.
and there is this researcher who is talking about carbohydrate addict.
Yeah.
The first time I'm like, what am I hearing? Carbohydrate addict. And then I thought, I have never heard about this one. I know about drug addict, but I've never heard about carbohydrate.
Add it.
Oh, yes. So I don't have to look. Have you not noticed that carbohydrates are very addictive?
Yeah.
So you have a bar of chocolate in front of you. Once you start one, you can't stop.
So,
But that good feeling is just there when we finish with that bar of chocolate.
right.
We need to watch out and listen to our body signals.
Mm-hmm.
How much starchy food do I have on this plate? Whether I am hypertensive, whether I am diabetic, how much starchy food do I have on this plate? Can I swap some for vegetables and make sure I have enough vegetables here? Can I even swap, remove some of the starchy foods and make sure I have good protein here? It could
Yeah.
be eggs, it could be chicken, it could be. Can I just make sure that my plate is varied and not that I have a lot of starchy food?
Yeah.
And please, let's work with our healthcare practitioners and take opportunities for the annual health check. If we do not understand any blood result
Yeah.
that is there, nowadays, for those of us who are here in the UK, we have the NHS app or we have the GP app. We
Yeah.
can check our blood results on our phone. We don't understand anything. Please, let's go back
Yeah.
because those blood results that are there are not easier for the non-clinical person to understand.
Understand.
So
Yeah.
let's communicate with our healthcare practitioners and say, I do not understand.
Yeah.
And what do I do about this?
Wow. Interesting. All right. That's awesome. I love also you're mentioning the our mind that you can't do what your mind have not accepted for you to do or you have not convinced yourself you want to do, which is one of those
Mm,
the trainings we provide to people to say really, when you are training the limbic brain, or when it comes to behavior or habit, you need to focus on the limbic brain. It's not the same way we train the prefrontal cortex or the cognitive brain. Okay, so training the
Mm,
limbic brain, that's what we talk about safety. And that safety includes
mm-hmm.
accepting that you want to do this. As long as inside you have
Yes.
not accepted that, you may not be able to achieve that. So I think that is
Yep.
very important. Actually, I created a course on that. I call that Beyond Thinking, at how to train the limbic brain.
Mm,
Yeah, because a lot of times people try to do things and they can't find out why they are not doing it. They believe they want to do this thing, but inside of them, right, it's just like a man or a woman convinced against their will. Like we say, they remain unconvinced still. So you can't achieve that thing unless you buy into it.
yeah.
You tell yourself, I'm ready to do
Yes.
this now. You see how it aligns with your
Yes.
purpose, your values, and all the things you stand for. So mentioning that is very key, because a lot of times people want to achieve things, but they find it difficult to do because they have not really
Yes.
bought into it. They have not created that safety that the limbic brain
Yes.
requires to learn or to make change.
When it comes to health and living with long-term conditions,
Yeah.
a lot of patients that I see initially have challenges with accepting that. And it even becomes a little bit more challenging when the individual has faith,
Mhm,
because they'll tell me, Rosalind, yes, I'm going to pray about this and God will heal me. And then
mhm,
I said, yes, I believe that.
yeah,
The first question I have for you, though, is do you actually trust that God is going to heal you? And then they will look at me and think, what do you mean?
mhm,
Yes. Do you trust that God is going to heal you?
mhm,
It's easier to say, God is going to heal me.
mhm,
But do you trust Him? Do
mhm.
you completely trust Him? And
Absolutely.
it's also about that acknowledging that thing. And are you playing your part?
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, whilst God is going to do it, you also need to play your part. And
Yeah.
especially when it comes to medications, this is one controversy when it comes to medications. Sometimes people will say that, oh, Rosalind, if I take the medications, it means that I have accepted that I am ill.
Yeah.
So I would not rather take the medications and then I expect to be healed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You have to take the medications, and as you are taking it, you pray and you trust that it is going to work till the point where your doctor will say you don't need that anymore.
Yes.
And that is where, however, good thing I like about what you've said is all about safety. Do I have that internal recognition that I need to actually acknowledge and then do this for it to work for me when it comes to managing my own long-term conditions?
Absolutely. That's interesting. Rosalind, just talking about medications, because as you have mentioned, some of the people already who are diagnosed of certain health conditions are already on medication. Are there common medications or habits that people might not realize can harm their kidneys?
Hmm. Interesting. Remember, I said kidney disease does not scream,
Yeah, absolutely.
it nudges.
Yeah.
So sometimes we may have unknown chronic kidney disease and we may be actually damaging that by certain medications that we are taking.
Yeah.
So, first, let me talk about what we call non steroidal anti inflammatory.
Okay.
Some people call it NSAID, but commonest one is ibuprofen,
Okay.
naproxen.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this? Why am I talking about this? So, majority of our young girls
Mm-hmm.
find these medications more effective than general analgesia, for example, paracetamol,
Okay.
especially during their menses or their
Okay.
period.
Okay.
So they take it for the pain of the period.
Okay.
The truth is that so far as they do not have any underlying kidney health issue, there
Yeah.
is no problem.
All right.
But it is when there is an underlying kidney health issues that is when it becomes a challenge
Challenge. Okay.
because they would not know.
Mm-hmm.
And then actually taking that then might cause what NSAIDs do is that they actually crystallize in the kidneys.
All right.
So if I already have an underlying poor kidney health, it's actually going to make my condition worse.
Okay.
And hence the reason why I say to people, please do not just take it. Ask your GP before you take it. It has to be right for you.
Mhm.
And if taking paracetamol for the period pain does not work, please go to your GP and let them find a suitable one for you.
All right.
I've already mentioned herbal medications.
Okay.
So apart from NSAID, there are also certain medications that are given to patients that also increases their risk.
Okay.
In the hospital, sometimes some patients may be prescribed with certain antibiotics like
Mhm.
gentamicin, vancomycin. We know that they have impact on the kidneys.
Mhm.
The good thing is that in the hospital setting, we will check the levels of these to make sure that they are safe for patient.
All right.
The challenge is outside. A lot of us taking other medications from outside or taking a lot of unprescribed medications in the name of I am cleansing myself,
Okay.
and we don't know which of this herbal medication I'm taking actually counteract with each other
Yeah, absolutely.
because sometimes they are not written there that way, so we do not know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, anyone listening to this, watching this, beware of these habits. If you have already formed them, be wiser now. Confirm, make sure you stick to, if you're sticking to prescribed medication, please hold on to that. And then, if you believe that the herbal way is the way for you, which, as you know, we may not know the content, and I hear people argue that some of us have lived with that. We used that in the olden days when we didn't have access to medication or what we have today. All of that argument is right, but it's just that we don't want you to complicate issues, don't create problems you cannot
Yeah.
solve. So, um, depending on your faith level, you can choose what you want to do, but we just want you to make it safe for you and for the people around, for your loved ones.
Yeah.
Rosalind, in closing, I would like you to speak to something like how do social and environmental factors influence kidney health? And what can communities do to help? Are there things that in our communities or social and environmental factors can impact on these things we're talking about?
Okay. So here in the UK, we would say that there is very limited environmental impact on kidney health.
All right.
What does impact on kidney health within the UK is actually what we call deprivation.
Okay.
So there are people who may be living in a socially deprived area.
All
So
right.
poor housing.
Mhm.
Why will I talk about poor housing? The poor housing in itself will affect the person's emotional well-being.
Well-being. Okay.
That increases the person's stress level.
All right.
That then increases the release of cortisol. So you can now see where we are going, and we go back to that stress level.
All right.
Also, individuals who, for one reason or the other, do not have the requisite level of education and hence do not have employment, go
Okay.
through the same phase of stress.
Mm-hmm.
And then that stress then has that knock on effect on the heart and on the kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
But also just simply not having enough.
Yeah.
Because if I am already living in a socially deprived area or I am already economically deprived,
Yeah.
that means that when it comes to health options and the choices that I need to make,
Yeah.
I have limitations. Because when I go shopping and all the foods that I know I can see are green, they have less fat,
Yeah.
less sugar, less salt, and more protein, and they're expensive,
Yeah.
and I cannot buy them,
Absolutely.
I end up with the ones that has high fat,
Mm-hmm.
high sugar, high salt. That then drives high blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
which then later on has a knock-on effect on kidney health.
All right.
So in terms of here, what can the communities do? This is where community leaders play a key role.
Yeah.
It is actually about collaborating with community leaders, find out what are the key concerns of that community, and
Okay.
then work together with the community leaders to actually bring out a solution.
Yeah.
For a very long time, healthcare professionals, we have gone into a community to do things for the community without the community.
All right.
And we wondered why it didn't work. But when we go into the community and actually work with the community,
Mm-hmm.
what is the main challenge here? How can we work together You bring the solution. How can we work together? Let the people within the community lead on it. This is where the project I am doing, that is what I have learned from it. Let the people within the community lead on it.
Okay.
The community then embraces it.
Yeah.
The community then embraces it. So, in terms of the UK here, it is about letting the community leaders actually work with it. Co production, co development, that is the way to actually reduce long term conditions
So,
and to enhance patient self management.
okay.
In a resource limited countries, when we start going to Africa and some parts of Asia,
Mhm.
we have huge environmental factors.
Yeah.
Pollution in Africa plays a significant role
Yeah.
in terms of chronic kidney disease. We have smoke inhalation, we have all of that that impacts on respiratory system, then later impact on cardiovascular, and then later impact on kidney health.
Right.
So in resource limited countries, there is a host of challenges. Non-communicable diseases is also in the increase in resource limited countries, especially in Africa, where sometimes we see our perception of being overweight is totally different from health aspect.
Yeah.
And that in itself calls for a lot of awareness about the difference between a healthy weight
Yeah.
and then an abnormal weight,
Yeah.
where you could see somebody and then you say, that person looks big, that person is actually looking good or living good, but it may not be. So we need an awareness when it comes to that in terms of resource limited countries. So a
Mhm.
lot of work. And Owen, I would say that Africa, we are blessed, we are rich. We just need to come together and actually use our resources to actually help our communities. There is a lot we can do. In a hot climate like Africa,
Mhm.
majority of us do not drink enough water.
Yeah.
That in itself causes dehydration.
Okay.
It is one thing the kidneys do not like. The
Mm.
kidneys love water.
Okay.
The kidneys love water. So
Mm.
sometimes I get, Roslyn, how about coffee? Water. How about tea? Water. Beer? Water. Come on, Roslyn, water. The kidneys love to be hydrated.
Okay.
And all the kidneys are crying for is water.
Okay.
Water. We need to drink enough water. We don't have to wait or wait until we are feeling thirsty.
All right.
When we wait till we are feeling thirsty, that
Mm-hmm.
is the body's signal telling us you have waited too long, and now I am actually saying to you, drink water now, or something else will happen. We have to plan throughout the whole day to
Mm-hmm.
have sips of water as we go along throughout the whole day.
Right.
We are using our hands, we are using our body, we are using our brains, and we need to keep the body well hydrated
Okay.
so that the body can function and look after us very well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that greatly. I'm so glad to have you in here today and to share all this wisdom, knowledge, and all that you have communicated. So thank you so very much for coming. I really appreciate and keep on the good work you are doing. I love the way you
Thank
put it that you are, fulfilling your calling. Yeah, so you found what you do
you.
as your calling, where we also emphasize in people enjoying what they do, finding their calling and living their life. And in living your
Definitely.
life, yeah, also giving other people's life, value
Yes.
and sense of fulfillment. So thank you so very much.
Yeah.
Congratulations once again on your award. And
Thank
thank you
you.
for joining us
Thank you.
today. And we look forward to having you again and again.
Definitely. Thank you. I look forward to that. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And I'll say to our listeners, knowledge is hope.
Yeah.
Knowledge is hope. So
Yeah.
let's take this knowledge, let's set our personal goals, and let's look after ourselves very well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.